This isn't some weird modern art project. This is poop. And the animal that makes it is the only creature on planet Earth that poops in perfect squares. Meet the wombat, Australia's chunky, grumpy, and surprisingly clever bulldozer. This stocky marsupial is just full of bizarre and brilliant surprises. I'm going to show you the recently discovered secret of how they make their famous cube-shaped poop, and then I'll show you the even crazier way they use their own butt as a deadly weapon. Let's get right into the weirdest thing about them, the square poop. A single wombat can produce 80 to 100 of these little brown cubes every single night. For decades, scientists were completely stumped. How is this even possible? Do they have a square butthole? No. The answer is much cooler and was only figured out a few years ago. It all happens inside their intestines. The very last section of a wombat's gut has varied elasticity. This means some parts of the intestinal wall are stiff and rigid, while other parts are soft and flexible. As the poop is squeezed through this final section, the different pressures from the stiff and soft parts literally sculpt the material into a cube, with flat sides and sharp corners. So why go through all that trouble? It's all about communication. Wombats are very territorial, and they use their poop to mark the edges of their territory. They like to leave their droppings on a high point, like on top of a rock or a log, to make sure the scent spreads far and wide. And as you can imagine, a cube is much better for this job than a round pellet. A cube stays put, it doesn't roll away. It's the world's most stable and practical territory marker. Okay, so they have a very clever way of sending messages. But wombats are slow, stout, chunky animals. How does a wombat possibly defend itself from a fast and powerful predator like a dingo or a Tasmanian devil? This is where the wombat proves it is an absolute tank. A wombat's greatest defensive weapon is its butt. The rear end of a wombat is not soft and squishy. It's a giant shield made of incredibly thick skin, tough cartilage, and solid bone. It is basically a battering ram. And here's how they use it. A wombat's main defense is to run to one of its burrows and dive in head first. It then blocks the entrance with its rock-hard rump. If a predator, like a dingo, is stupid enough to stick its head into the tunnel to try and pull the wombat out, the wombat will relax for a second, let the dingo get its head in, and then use its immensely powerful legs to slam its butt upwards. It crushes the predator's skull against the hard roof of the burrow. It is one of the most brutal and effective defense mechanisms in nature. It's a deadly doorstop. And speaking of burrows, their bodies have another brilliant adaptation for a life of digging. A mother wombat is a marsupial, so she has a pouch to carry her baby, which is called a joey. But unlike a kangaroo's pouch, which opens forwards, a wombat's pouch faces backward, towards her butt. This is a genius design. As the mother is digging her tunnels, it prevents her from shoveling a constant stream of dirt right on top of her baby. But maybe the most heroic thing a wombat does, it does completely by accident. Wombats are master engineers, and they dig huge, deep, complex burrow systems with multiple chambers. During the terrifying and destructive bushfires that sweep across Australia, these wombat burrows are often the deepest and safest places to hide from the heat and flames. And scientists and rescue workers have found that countless smaller animals, from lizards and skinks to wallabies and echidnas, survive the fires by taking shelter deep inside these wombat-made bunkers. The wombat isn't intentionally inviting them in, but its incredible engineering makes it an unwitting hero, the firefighter of the Australian bush. So, the wombat is a true original. It's the only animal in the world that poops in cubes, and it does it so its messages don't roll away. It defends itself with a reinforced, weaponized butt that it uses to crush its enemies. And its incredible burrows can act as a life-saving fire shelter for the entire neighborhood. If you want to learn about more of nature's weirdest and most wonderful animals, make sure you subscribe.